Hello everyone, it's Marcy, and I'm back with another video to work on some coin pockets. As I've mentioned previously, right at this particular moment, I'm taking, I guess, a little bit of a break from actually making journals, and I'm trying to make some ephemera for my journals. Although I noticed earlier today I was actually beginning to think about a journal, so that's good. Anyway, this is inspired by Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, who has been doing her weekly mass making of things, and I am in no way going to be mass making a bunch of stuff. She makes like 14 or so. I may make 6. And part of the reason I like doing this, I'm just going to trim this piece of paper down some. Part of the reason that I like doing this is, I don't know about you, but when I'm making a journal, if I'm in the midst of making some journal, I actually tend to lose a little bit of my creativity. I get so focused on the theme that I don't stop to think about what could I make that would be different. The little coin pockets is one of those things for me. So I thought I would make a few, and that way I'll have them in my stash. So even if I don't have something in my stash that is the style or theme that I want, it will at least remind me, oh yeah, I could make one of those. That kind of thing. So, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper. It doesn't matter how big it is. I've got papers of various sizes that I'll be using. Use a book page. And all I'm going to do is, I am going to use my scoreboard. It is absolutely not necessary to do this. It just makes me feel better. And I'm going to score what will be the bottom edge at 1/2 inch. So it doesn't really matter. I just want my bottom edge to have about 1/2 inch. Now, you could just as easily take it. Here, I'll do one without. I'll do this book page. Just fold your page up. I mean, really, there's absolutely no reason for me to use the scoreboard. I'll go ahead and start with this one. And I'm going to fold my pocket in. Line up my top edge and fold it down. Bring this over, and you can make it, your pocket can be as wide or as narrow, whatever you want. And fold that side down. Then what I'm going to do, and if you watched my video where I was making the envelopes using tracing paper, it's exactly the same thing. And miter the edge. So I'm cutting just above that fold line, cutting to the vertical fold line, and then cutting in, just to get rid of that bulk in the corner. Then fold my pocket, flip that up. I think I want it that way. I'm going to put glue trouble getting my, there it goes. Glue going in the last video too. I might need to clean the tip. And on this edge, and I'm going to run a bead of glue across there. Fold that up. And now I'm going to take my 1-inch hole punch. Oh, it does not like that book page. And give it a little thumb hole. And the pockets are just that easy. Then you can decorate it however you want. So now I'm going to go back to this one. I scored that bottom. I don't think I need it to be 6 inches wide, so chop a little bit off there. Although you could make it 6 inches wide, but my journals are normally, my journal pages are normally 5.5 inches wide. Okay, so again, I folded the bottom about 1/2 inch. Fold in one side. Fold the other side over and overlap. Now, I'm going to put my glue up, or pin my glue real quick. Now, cut above my fold line. That one's actually a little far above my fold line. Miter it in. It's hard to see the fold line on that paper. Cut above my line. Fold it in. And we've got, I'm actually going to go ahead and punch my thumb hole before I glue everything in, just because for me that makes it a little easier. Now, glue down that edge. Run glue down that edge. Run glue along the bottom. Now, if you've never made one of these before, you may ask, well, why can't you just take a piece of paper and fold it over, glue it at the bottom, glue your flats, glue it at the bottom, and you can. You absolutely can. What I like about these pockets is with that folded bottom, you actually get a little more room. I'm going to do exactly that on this piece of scrap paper. I'm going to fold that in, run a bead of glue down here, run a bead of glue here, and here. Okay, and as you'll see here, without that folded bottom, it gets narrower. It won't open all the way up to the bottom, where with that, it will open up all the way to the bottom. And so it makes, you can get chunkier stuff in and out easier. But you absolutely can do this if you don't want to make the bottom flap. I just prefer doing it this way just because it gives me more room. So that paper has been folded, so I'm gonna cut that down a little bit. And I'm gonna fold my bottom edge up. I don't know where my bone folder went. I think it grew legs and ran away. Fold it right this way. This way. And this paper that I'm using, I reached into my scrap box and just pulled some papers out. All right, so we're gluing and gluing. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day and staying safe and healthy. As I've mentioned previously, my town is on an official lockdown. Of course, by the time this airs, that may be more the norm than... Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sure that caused a horrendous bang. So see, that one's going to be narrow but tall. I kind of like that. All right. This one I'm going to go ahead and glue. I had made this one. Speaking of which, this is out of a piece of scrapbook paper that I had tea-dyed, I believe. But I'm never going to use those balloon puppies in a journal. So, excellent way to use up that paper. Just use the back side. I've got several sheets like this that are just scrapbook paper that have been sitting around, but they're a theme that I'm never going to use. So, I just turn them into something else using the non-printed side. That way I can save some of my, my real thought in doing that was, well, I copy and tea dye paper all the time, and that takes away from my printer paper, which is fine. But I do have this lighter weight scrapbook paper that I'm not going to use. If I haven't used it by now, I'm probably not going to use it. So I found a way to use some of it. All right. Oh, let's make a teeny tiny one. See what we can do with that. I pulled a couple of pieces of paper out that are this size because I thought, you know, those might make really neat little tuck spots. Or I might possibly be able to figure out a way to mount it on a paper clip. So even there, they're going to be teeny tiny little coin envelopes. Figured I'd give it a whirl. Wish I had some exciting news to share with you all. But my life right now thankfully, I will say, is pretty boring. Alright, yeah, that makes a cute little pocket, and that might be a really cute, ooh, am I gonna, let's see, I'm gonna have to go this way. Ooh. Alright, watch me struggle. Come on. I will get this. Or I won't. There it is. There. Oh, that's a cute little thing. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. My original thought was, you know, that glue it on a page on just on one side and down the bottom and make it a tuck with a little tag in it or something. So, all right. And then I want to make one out of this one, and I'll decorate this one, make it and decorate it up, and this was a mop-up page. I was playing with my Distress Oxides to make the little accordion flip outs. That is not straight. And I put the Distress Oxide on my mat and then wet it down, and then when I was done, there was of course some left on the mat, and so I just mopped it up with a piece of printer paper, and I really like the way that came out. Alright, now remember, put the thumb hole 4. So cut this, so we're going to cut just above the fold line, and then miter it in. just above the fold line to the vertical line, miter in. These are really easy pockets, but they, like I said, when I'm making a journal, rarely do I think about them. And I don't know why. I don't know why I get so locked up. But when I'm doing it, I don't even realize a lot of times that I am blocked and just not thinking creatively. Maybe I get nervous about it. I don't know. All right, that's cute. So I want, I'd already kind of looked at this, but I think I want that little bird. That is an image from My Porch Prints that was fussy cut. And here I've got my little bag of scrap lace. So it's all come off of bigger rolls of lace and, or bigger stashes of lace. I kind of like that. That's pretty simple. I wonder. Ooh, I wonder if I have one that says sing. You know, like birds singing. Okay, I apologize. Okay, well, give me just a second. Put the pen in the glue. I think I'm going to use faded denim. I've got peacock feathers and weathered wood on this, and so I'm afraid the peacock feathers may not show up very well. So I don't know whose idea it was to use these makeup brushes for stenciling, but whoever it was is brilliant. Okay, there we go. Now, cut this. And use a little bit of my Fabri-Tac. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to get so involved, but when I had that thought about the word sing, then it was like, well, now I have to have the word sing. Nothing else will do. All right. this glued up. Anyway, so simple coin pockets. They're easy. They work well. They will expand. And I always forget about them when I'm making journals. So now I'll have a few in my stash to help me remember about them. And all right, I think that's cute. It looks very springy to me. Anyway, so that's it for today. A short video, not as short as it could have been, but short nonetheless. Take care of yourselves, be safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.